Keep it short, Will.
Go on, Will.
Go on, Will.
I have indeed been busting a gut to get this out of the way.
Oh no, he has. He has.
Thankfully, they did declare that we would be doing this before eating. So.
Aww.
I have been told to keep it short, but we did actually forget to bring the fax roll, amongst other things today. So, cheers, James. So I've got to make do with a couple of pages instead. Firstly, before I begin, really, I better get the second part of the best man's duties out of the way. So, if you all join me in raising your glasses to our three lovely bridesmaids today: Victoria, Rachel, and Emma.
Yay!
Cheers.
Cheers. You drunk me to that real
As Bob said, what can you really say about James? He's decided to leave that much to me, so I won't keep you too long because, well, James has only got one pint sitting in front of him here. But our story begins on a dark December evening of 1982. With Steve rushing his dear wife Jane to hospital in Bridge North to give birth to him. Now I only bring this up because this does bring our favourite little nuance of the club together, which is that technically my best friend was born on the wrong side of the River Severn and is in fact a Welshman. Now you can all say what you like about James because you've got to think about what you know of him. And to me, I had to do a bit of research on this, and I've heard that he is pretty good at testing out ponds. In fact, every pond that Steve built at Jane and Steve's house, he promptly tested by falling into. Not content with that, he also tried out Chris and Julie's. Steve, did you ever think of telling him that they weren't actually paddling pools?
No.
He never specified.
I blame the parents myself. But that said, he has taken after his father spectacularly. His love of card games is second to none. It's left us particularly wiser and quite a bit poorer over the years. Though thankfully we're mostly playing just for chips rather than for actual money. Thank God that people won't let me bet against him. But I was actually thinking of taking you to Las Vegas for your stag do. Not that I'm completely ruling it out, it's just that I'd have to buy more tickets now. Because I could bankroll you and we could all come back quite a bit better off. But that said, once I say it's going to be good luck for us, it's going to go out the window, isn't it?
Yep.
Still, it'll be a good time. So, how you fixed for next May? Now, when I first met him at school, we were both 9 years old. Oh.
You've got a good memory.
I haven't. You reminded me of that, Steve. First thing I remember about James was that he was a bit taller than most of the class, so that bob of blonde hair walking along in line at school was very recognisable. But then again, at lunchtime, when he always took out a thermos flask of chicken soup, and usually some pizza to dip in it.
Oh.
That's just one of those things that sticks in your mind. And that sort of gourmet cooking is something you can't even get with a cook school lunch, so thank you Steve for that again.
Gourmet cooking.
Of course, over the years he's been known by many names. James, Jim, Jim Bob, Jamesy, Sprout.
Don't ask.
Yeah. It's best not to. Though he did declare when he was engaged that he was no longer going to be a Sprout. So, thanks to Jay over in the corner there, he's no longer going to be Sprout. We're not exactly sure which brassica he's going to take after, but we think it's going to be either a cabbage or a cauliflower. Since it's a bigger version of. But the other thing about names is that sometimes they call him Will. This has been particularly confusing when I've been round at Jane and Steve's, as you can imagine. And then Jane and Steve went and got another cat and called him Will as well. The one morning, there's Saturday morning, me and James sitting down playing on the PlayStation, and in walks Jane. "Oh, Will, what are you doing sitting in my seat?" At which point me and James, without missing a beat, stand up, still playing on the PlayStation, and Jane falls about laughing. When the laughter's died down, James just looks at me and says, "I think she means the cat." At which point the cat opens an eye and goes back to sleep. And we just sit down and carry on playing. Well, Wouldn't that be right, Jane?
Yes.
But, above all, he's still a good friend though. But I will advise you, dude, if you do, two of you choose to have kids, it would be an honour, but please don't, for the love of God, call them Will. I have to say, I think that James did choose me as his best man, because after all the lurid, depraved and immoral things that we got up to as teenagers, he wanted someone with tact, rather than someone that was actually going to tell the truth. Come to think of it, despite that, he has only ever tried to kill me once, at which point I will take you back about 5.5 years, just after James and Natalie had got engaged. I wasn't driving back then, so he had the dubious duty of giving me a lift to the club Sunday morning. I came walking down the stairs with a bag full of books in my left hand and a stereo in my right hand, and he gets to the bottom of the stairs and turns around to me and says, "So Will, how are you at best man speeches?" I thought it was great, and of course I was thinking brilliant about all this. I forgot to use my legs. Fortunately, some might say, I landed at the bottom of the stairs on both my feet, and so I'm still standing here today. Just bear in mind, I ain't engaged yet. Revenge is a dish best served cold. It ain't cold enough yet. It's nice and warm. Anyway, moving swiftly onward, he's also a keen member of that dubious fraternity of DIYers. Just don't ask him for a timescale on when it's going to be completed. Because the 21st of April, when they moved in, when they took possession of their brand new spanking lovely home, James said to me, "Oh yeah, we'll be in what, 6 to 8 weeks?"
Yeah.
6 to 8 months later, they still weren't in.
How's your bathroom ceiling?
Shut up.
The snag list still stands at, as Charlie mentioned, the bathroom ceiling. There's still a bit of grouting to do behind the bathroom sink, and the door frame in the bathroom could do with rub down and painting. I'll leave it at that for now, because there is a few more, but I'm not going to mention that. And now, no little tale of my best friend would be complete without a mention of the snooker hall. Now, he's not as good as the guys that are plying their trade in Sheffield, because, well, let's face it, would they have arranged the wedding to coincide with the semi-finals of the World Championship? I doubt it. It's a great place to unwind, going down to the snooker hall, so that's where we go, to have a laugh, to be friends. Now, don't ever tell him, if you're playing against him at snooker, pool, or anything, that he will not make any shot. Because as soon as you tell him that he will not make a shot, just take a look at it and go, He'll bend down and pot it straight away, no matter how difficult the shot. I still haven't learnt my lesson about that yet. This place doesn't have a pool table, does it?
Don't know.
You didn't bring your cue, did you?
No.
Thank God for that. Guess we can spend the night celebrating then.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, dear. Now it's your turn, mate.
Thanks.
Cheers, Will.
Cheers, Will.
Cheers. Thank you. I'll keep you even less time than Bob. I just want to say a quick thank you to everybody for attending on behalf of myself and my wife. I'm not going to be, yeah. The moment I saw Natty, I wanted to go out with her.
Aww.
And the moment I went out with her, I wanted to marry her. That is a true story. It took me ages to get her number, and it's taken me ages to get her down the aisle. And now I hope it will take us ages to grow old together. Likewise, as Bob said, I'd like to thank everybody that put their hard work into this, and I'd also like to thank both the mothers, which we present these bouquet of flowers, to say thank you for bringing us into this world and getting us this far.
It's a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you.
And hopefully, if the grub's ready, we should be eating soon.
Amen to that.
And I'll just ask you to raise your glasses one last time. To the future and my good wife.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.